Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I'm going to be having Sarah on today, and we're going to be giving a little bit of an energetic update. We're going to be speaking a bit about what's going on in the astral space. So welcome, welcome. Hi guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Hello, welcome. So I'm just going to wait for the request and then I'm going to let Sarah in. You guys are going to love her. She's incredible.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. Hello, welcome. Hi guys, I see there's quite a few people connecting. Thank you for being here. So me and Sarah met at the Conscious Life Expo. We both sat together the ET Origins panel, which was absolutely incredible. So do you want to just maybe introduce yourself, tell, the audience a little bit who you are and a little bit about you and your experiences?
So hi everyone. Actually, you know what? I really loved meeting you because I was like, oh, another alien girl like me. Literally. We got to sit next to each other and it was just amazing at the Conscious Life Expo because I've been doing this work for years to get people to acknowledge their ET origins, their other lifetimes. And so it was great to have a fellow sister. And yeah, I've been doing this work since I was a child. I incarnated supernatural, knowing all my past lives, knowing I lived on Mars, having all my memories of Atlantis. And then just like this has been a passionate life path for me.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, and I mean, and you also like a hybrid, eh?
Yes, I'm a hybrid. So I was told that I have this sort of mixture called the Magdalene concoction, which is a mix of different ET races, and they wanted me to kind of be a envoy on the planet for the different messages from the different races of ETs, and that's been my experience. So there's different councils that I consult with. There's councils of the mantoid beings. There's also councils of the tall gray ETs. There's councils of the Arcturians, Pleiadians, and then there's what I call an overlight council, a spirit, ancient, I call it the Council of Ancient Light that I consult with, and they're actually over all of the ET councils. So I work with them, with working on the planet. And right now, I think we were talking earlier about the rainbow light, and they're telling me that multitudes of people need to channel rainbow light into the center of the earth. And that's one of the big messages right now that I'm getting from them.
Amazing. Yeah, and Sarah is really, really connected to the earth and Gaia. And I know you've done a lot of work for the planet with the grids. So I don't know if you want to maybe tell the audience a little bit about that as well.
Right. So we have, from what the ETs have been explaining to me, there's a lot of pollution on the planet. That pollution is dense energy, and we have to transmute it. And we have the ability to transmute it because we have divine power over energy. So all of that pollution is just dense energy. It's dense energy in the oceans. It's dense energy in the in the skies, in the air. It's dense energy everywhere. So we have to just focus on the dense energy and visualize transmuting it into rainbow light. And they were telling me this is how we clear the pollution, the dense energy pollution off the planet. So this is like one of the big messages for the last couple of years that's been coming through so intensely. And it's like that more and more people are going to light up to their divine origins, to their ET origins, to the fact that they are much more than this physical human body. When they do, they're going to step into that divine power, and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to sense the earth that it needs healing. They're going to sense the oceans it needs healing. And they're going to be like, oh my goodness, I have this divine power, and they're going to channel light into it, and they're going to transmute all that dense energy. And there's going to be we're going to step into the golden age, into new earth, into what all these prophecies, all these myths talk about, that there will be peace, there will be healing, there will be connection, there will be love, and love will be the law. That's what I've been shown.
Yeah. Wow, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I literally just feel activated just by listening to that. Yeah, it's really going into this important space of unconditional love, like going back to that, going back to the understanding that, Earth, the Mother Gaia, is a sentient being, and the elementals and kind of like going into the awareness of, you know, something as simple as anchoring into your gratitude on a day-to-day basis and being grateful for, you know, the fruit that you're eating and what you're putting into your body and how you are interacting with that, you know. So going back to the ancient times, like in Lemuria, you know, so I think, yeah, I think we definitely are moving into a space where more people are seeing that. I think obviously with the polarity and everything that's going on, it's important to hold this vibrational frequency of love. I don't know if you want to maybe also speak a little bit about the astral space. I know it's been quite active for you. It's been quite active for me as well. But do you just want to tell people a little bit what's going on there?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been quite active. It's so right now, one of my missions was to clear out the astral space, and a lot of people are creators. So when you are focused on positive things, you literally create that energy. When you're focused on negative things, you also create that energy, and it creates these sort of like in a way spirits. A long time ago they were like, people create literally angels and negative entities, and then that in their aura and in the system. So I feel like right now my big mission is clearing out a lot of that, you know, through all the wars, through all the suffering on the planet. I'm just clearing that out. And it's something that people need to wake up to, that they are powerful beings, they are creators, and you're either creating things that are good for you and good for the planet, or bad for you and bad for the planet. You've got to get your paranoias under control, your fears under control. You got to master all of that, and you can only master it with love. And then you know, for me, part of that journey has been like the well-being of my physical body, and how when it's a good, nice place to be in, because I'm taking care of it on a nutrition level, on a fitness level, on lots of different levels of self-care, it's a great place to be. You know, a lot of my work too goes back to parasites, mucoid plaque, heavy metals, clearing that out of their system, because that's all the dense pollution energies. And then once the body is a beautiful, happy space, that's when we can truly be in it and be one with it. And yeah, so that's one of the big parts of my journey. And then, you know, also teaching people that when you feel good in your body, you're also creating good energy around you. You become a portal of good energy. When you're stressed, you're depressed, you're sad, you're sick, you're unwell, you are a portal to lower energies for yourself, which is creating a distorted reality for you and for the planet. So lots of my work is going into the physical body, making it a beautiful temple for yourself inside and out, and then also, you know, clearing those, what I call like those spiritual forms that you have created, whether it's in this lifetime or past lifetimes. And people have created a lot of that in past lifetimes. They are born into this life, and then they're born, you know, with different sicknesses or different things. And, you know, some people too, the good thing is that some people are born with the good things that they created. And that also comes in, all that knowledge. So like me, I had like, when I went to Egypt, I had this activation of my avatar in Egypt that I left, which is a beautiful energy field, and she merged into me. So I had that, and different places I've traveled, like ancient places, I would go and I would merge into parts of my energy that I literally left there. And I'd bring that in, and then I was like, oh wait, this lifetime, like I have kind of the witch wound. I think you were talking about that, which is deep even for me in this lifetime, because when I first started out years ago, lots of people were unkind. They called me, you know, evil witch, da da da. And so I remember in lifetimes just bringing lots of divine knowledge, and that made them very uncomfortable. They didn't like that. So I went to clear the witch wound. I'm actually going to Salem, like in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So I'm going to go and do lots of clearing work down there, because I'm like, a lot of us gifted women need that. And that's what I'm focused on. And, you know, there's all that energy. I just want to transmute it, because I'm like, oh my goodness, all of us sacred women for thousands of years, we've been reincarnating and coming in and out of the planet, going back to being our ETs or in our spirit selves. And literally we've been trying to help the planet evolve. And it's like, we have had some trauma, you know, coming in and out, where there was a lot of unkindness.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I think it is important, like you said, you know, and when you find yourself in those emotions, like the sadness, the pain, the guilt, the shame, like observe it, release it, and then let it go. So it's important to still feel them, but don't wallow in them. Don't get stuck in them. an infinite being of light, and this is your power. You can transmute anything that comes to you. You know, you are more powerful than anything on a physical plane as well. And I think the witch wound is also super relevant because there was a very big collective anger template that was cleared recently, and a lot of people triggered and irritated and angry, you know. And it's important for people to understand that it's okay to kind of like externate that anger and express it, as long as you're able to move through it, you know, because we don't want to spiritually bypass and be like, no, those are bad emotions, don't feel them. No, guys, all emotions are bad, good. It's kind of like how you transmute them and how you navigate them that then helps raise your frequency and operate from a high vibrational frequency baseline level.
Right. And thank you for saying that about anger, because there's what I call righteous anger. Like if somebody's doing something wrong to you, you have the right to be angry and say, no, you cannot do that. And but then there's what I call unhealed anger, where you're just like, you haven't done your healing, so you're projected on everyone your anger around you. And then that's where you really need to stop projecting. I feel like for somebody like me who has done my work, I rarely get angry, but if, you know, somebody really does cross my boundaries, yeah, I will get angry and I will be like, don't ever do that to me again. So that's a big thing for me, because my system, I listen to my system, and my emotions are divine teachers. Yeah. So I talk to them. I'm like, okay, anger, you're here. And it's like, yeah, I'm here because this person did this or this person did this. So I'm like, okay, I understand. So then I'm going to create boundaries so that you don't feel like this anymore. And I respect and honor my emotions. So it's been a learning. I think it's a big thing of where people think like, I just got to constantly be silent, be love and light. And working with clients around the world, I worked with thousands of people. A lot of people who are just like, I can't say anything, I can't express, I just got to be love and light. They have it all pent up in there, and I call it the sacred rage. And I'm like, okay, you're in an abusive relationship, or you have people who aren't kind to you, or you're in an environment that's really negative for you. Of course you're going to have that. That's normal. Don't feel bad for having that. You're not evil. You're not bad for having that. Just, you know, channel that out, let it out. Some people need to have tough love. They need to be told off. So I've worked with a lot of people like that. So thank you for bringing that up, because yeah, I call it sacred rage or sacred anger. And when you've done your healing and you've got to the point like I have, it's like, I'm really calm. I'm really nice. I'm like really inner peace. And very few times if people cross boundaries, I'm like, yeah, don't do it, because that's when that sacred rage comes up. And I wasn't allowed to express that as a child because I went through a lot of abuse. And it's like really, it was a healing journey for me and a learning journey that now, like, I can express that. I'm not a bad person, because I think in society we're told that women are just supposed to be kind of like submissive and silent and nice all the time, and just accept the abuse, just accept the suppression, just accept being stomped on, you know, just accept being ridiculed and this and that. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I always had this spirit of like, I'm rebelling against this. I am not being what you want me to be. I am in touch with myself. And as long as my system is happy, and as long as I'm listening to my system, which is God's source, and not those layers of trauma, I'm not just crazy mad at everyone or rage at everyone. Hey, I am happy with myself, and I'm going to be myself above everything. And I think it's been a big learning experience for me in the awakened community of like, wow, we need to stop suppressing women. We need to stop suppressing the fact that they should be angry at their abusers. They should be angry at the suppression. They should be upset that they're being, you know, told to be quiet and just take the hits and be silent and just be basically these submissive robots in the world. That's not what we were created to be. We were created to express, to dance, to dress sexy. It doesn't matter if we dress sexy. We have that divine right. You know, I was in Egypt and they dress and share clothing, and everyone's like, oh, you know, picking on clothing and stuff. And nowadays, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are not here to be in religion that suppressed women, that told women how to speak, how to act, how to be submissive, how to be suppressed, how to dress. We are here to be our goddess selves. You go back to Egypt, and those goddesses were in sheer clothing, and men respected them, and they were powerful beings. So that's what I align with. And they had sacred rage. Look at Hathor. She changes it to Sekhmet. If you mess with her, she is Sekhmet, literally. She will teach you a lesson, literally. That's what I align with.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you again for sharing that. Wow, so powerful. And I think from what I understand from an energetic perspective and a quantum perspective, the sacred rage like is needed to actually activate the DNA, to create that rupture, to create that timeline shift, that quantum shift, that expansion, whether it's between two individuals, whether it's between like a collective, whether it's only in your own experience. Like sometimes the emotion needs to be expressed in that way so that the timeline is cleared and the DNA is activated. So that was a big
Yeah, that makes sense. I also feel like, okay, so I was shown the other day, this is really interesting, with people who are abusive or bad towards us, that sacred rage is comes and then it literally cuts us off. So in our next lifetimes, we won't have to deal with them anymore. It literally severs that. So that, yeah, exactly. So it's really interesting. I was like having this whole download on like, if we allow ourselves to people to constantly be negative to us, we keep going through these loops of where like we accept it and we're saying we're okay with it, but once that sacred rage comes out and we're like, no, you crossed our boundaries, then I saw that literally severs the links with them for literally sometimes eternity. I was delving deep into this. I'm like, oh my goodness, all we need to do is really say no. Because think about the whole myth of the vampire. When you allow the vampire in, it's going to stay in. When you kick the vampire out, get out of my house, this is the house, the temple, it can't come in. So you're saying to those vampires no, and then also you're helping them by doing so, because they're learning that they can't be bad and you will just be nice and give them, you know, your energy. They're learning that if they be bad, there's a consequence, which tough love is needed. And then they're also, you know, then they're going to go, they're using your energy. You're enabling them when you don't say no, because they're using your energy to feel good, to manifest all of that. So when you're like no and you kick them out, then they have to face themselves. They can't use you as this kind of drug to stay away from themselves that they get high on. And then they have to go face themselves. And you know what? For people to change, specifically energy vampires, which also they're called narcissists, or they're called sociopaths. There's a lot of names for them, labels for them. They literally you have to cut them out and you have to say no. And when they're out there, then they can reflect on their own evil things, and then they have to feel it. And once they feel it, that's gonna often push them to change for the better and go on a healing journey, from what I've experienced.
Yes, exactly. And even on a smaller scale, just like someone in a you know, in a day-to-day environment that does something that you feel like is wrong, do you like express that? Because if you don't set that boundary, it's like you're saying to the universe, oh, I'm okay with that person, I don't know, your boss treating you well, you know, you're okay with it, and then it allows for that energy to perpetuate and to carry on. Meanwhile, if you set a boundary from a space of compassion, or like, hey, listen, like, this is not okay, okay, maybe you might lose your job, it was not meant to be your job in the first place, to be redirected somewhere else. So really important, again, on this theme of speaking your truth from the heart, standing up for yourself. And exactly like you said, woman, you know, we've been suppressed for so many years, and it's often difficult, especially like, I mean, I've done also like thousands of sessions, and so many people, like, their throats were cut, they were, you know, abused, all of that. So there's a struggle with the expressing the truth. So what I like to say is just making sure that your thoughts, actions, emotions, and words are all in alignment. You're saying something and you're doing it, and you're operating from the heart center. If you're doing something and you don't really want to be doing it, you're not standing in your truth. So I find that in the ascension and awakening process of the individual, if you speak from truth and start from there, everything else tends to align.
I agree with you completely. And I think that this is really good we're having this conversation, because again, we're breaking those belief systems of you need to just be quiet and be love and light. And it is, you should be love, but there are different aspects to love. I say this, I did a post about this. I'm like, there's also tough love. There's tough love, and we need tough love at times. So yeah, use that tough love when needed, you know? So the witch wound, you know, another thing is, if you look in history, there's no stories about, have you noticed, this is really interesting, there's like no stories about evil witches doing negative things. There's just stories about witches being slaughtered and gifted women being called witches and being slaughtered, but there's no stories about oh, evil witches did this and this and this. There's none, literally, really none. I've not found any. I've only found stories of very gifted women that people were paranoid. And people like me, like if there's abuse going on, we're not going to shut up. And if you're bad to us, we're not going to shut up. So yeah, we're gifted. And it's really interesting how that scares. It really scares the people that are in the shadow, who are the vampires, who are the narcissists. They don't like that. They're like, oh my God, that she's a danger. And I'm like, yeah, I am a danger, and I'm okay with being a danger. You better be afraid of me, you know, because I really am in alignment with Isis, and Isis was a protector of women and children. She was like, you better not hurt women and children. I protect them. So I'm really in that energy, you know, of like, don't hurt the women, the children of the planet. Like, as I feel like I've been one of the big voices for the children on the planet, and how, you know, and even women's empowerment when it comes to the awakened community that we're in, because I've seen a lot of, you know, terrible things go on behind the scenes. So I'm aware of what's going on. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be that Isis. I'm going to channel that.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my sacred rage. I'm going to bring my sacred truth. And truth is, you're really lying if you tell parts of truths but not the full truth. You're not telling the truth fully. You're lying on some level. And I do believe that a lot of people just are like, yeah, you know, when it comes to abuse or the shadows. And another thing, we can't heal those shadows. We can't heal that evil. We can't bring it to the light unless we talk about it, unless we talk about it, and then we bring in these solutions. And, you know, accountability is a powerful thing. And accountability is something that, you know, we all need to take for ourselves. Accountability is something that needs to be held high above anything, I think, when it comes to this community, because, you know, you join this community and you should act better. You should be better to everyone around you and better to yourselves. So that's like something, another thing I'm working on right now is like cleaning up the community. So we'll have to talk about that at some point, but it's like cleaning up the community and just bringing in lots of coaches and light workers who are authentic and legit, that are going to hold that sacred high energy and come from truth and authenticity. That's been another big sort of great work I've been doing, is to put together like this X-Men Star Seed team, which we talked about. Of like, you know, because I feel like there's so many people that need our help out there, and I love people so much, and I'm like, they all have this divine power, they need to step into it. So I'm working on putting together a group that I'm like, I am going to be like Mott. Are you being good, or are you being in your shadow and acting like you're good? Because I'm not okay with that. So that's some of the other work that I'm doing currently right now. I know we're getting off topic because we were supposed to channel rainbow light and light language.
If you would like to guide us into like a guided meditation and channel some light, that would be amazing.
Yes. Okay, so again, the ETs, the councils, they have told me, and literally even you guys as ancestors. So I have all of the ghosts, the spirits of those who have passed, that told me that they would join in this. They're like, and I was literally at the ocean a couple of years back, and I was channeling rainbow light, and all these spirits, ghosts of, you know, people's ancestors held my hand, and there was this, I just looked down the ocean front, and I was like, oh my God, it was full of all of these ghosts, and they were holding my hand, and they're like, we're channeling the light with you, so you can also ask your ancestors to do this with you. And they're just waiting for this. They're like, we're waiting for everyone to wake up. We're literally waiting for them to wake up. So you can ask your ancestors to help you, but we're going to channel rainbow light into the center of the earth right now, because that's our earth is a sacred ancient ship. It's literally a light ship. And, you know, our earth right now, the frequency, it's suffering. It told me, she's like, I'm suffering. So she literally told me we all have to channel light. And as we channel light, it's literally going to go up, 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 up. And we are going to light up the light ship that we're on. So this is like, we're going to do that right now. Perfect. So I want everybody just to relax. This is really important. Relax. Close your eyes, clear your mind. At first, we're going to channel rainbow light into our cells. So we're going to visualize the beautiful rainbow light pouring into our cells, our organs, and our entire being. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to visualize rainbow light pouring into the center of the planet. And while we're doing this, I'm going to ask you, Althea, if you can go ahead and do some light language, then I'll do some light language.
Ta quiero kokona shetaka. Trea creo kokoa isia nata rea shia kokoro ishenata siero kokoro ishetaka. Trea na rea creo tokoa sie kokora tre akiera ishena yataka. As we expand the heart center, nda koro ua ishenata ratro korokoro ishera siera tokuma isetaka. Anchoring into the DNA yatokoro tria siesas all the rainbow spectrum quiero kokoro itia. Tria na rea tria kumara siesoro kura ishita. Tiana re arrai oroko ania shia naya rasia takre. Triana rekt karo korokoa ishiara connecting to Mother Gaia, to koro ishara yatra connecting to the earth. Ntakoko raya sisia era ia ishara expanding through the root deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Ntakoro una ishina ya siesara korokoro calling in angelic rays. Yetokuma ya ishira ora yaratre aki kono isia sierra takra. Treatre ukuma ya shira si shero ua ishe takai naratara ishia. I'm going to pass it on to you, Sarah.
Ishkele pura, shkele hilu grila, shkele lekoro, shkele koro, ishkele hurela, shkele ushkele la 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 gro. May we return to our divinity. May we channel that divinity to heal not only ourselves, but the oceans, the air, the beautiful planet. May we step into this divine power that's been in us all along, this instant. May we embrace such. May we accept that it's eternal and always. May we channel it into the depths of our souls, our bodies, our entire being. May we channel it into the earth, and may we use it to nourish her and give her the energy that she is depleted of. Aman. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Thank you.
I feel high right now.
Yeah, my whole system is like fully activated. And just let me tell you, like, your field is incredible. Like the way you are embedded with the elementals and with the earth, it's very beautiful. And I think that's why me and you work very well together, because I'm also quite grounded, but I operate like from like sort of like a galactic expansion, and you do that as well, but you're also so very grounded and rooted. So I saw, it's like I saw both our energies like merging and flowing. Yeah, I got beautiful visuals. So thank you so much.
You know, I am pretty grounded, but I can also, because I know you're Aries and I have Aries in my midheaven and my Venus in Aries. So I have like the Taurus that grounds me down. But yeah, I literally feel when I take off, and then I feel when you come back and I ground you. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I love this. We have to do it again sometime. I love you. You're awesome.
I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
For everyone who wants to find you, maybe just tell them your website, if you have any special offerings up soon.
Yeah, so I'm launching the Multidimensional University right now. And you can find me at sararadams.com, and that's Sarah with an H, because I know everyone asks that. And then of course I am joined, I think, on this live, so you can just click on there and you'll go to my profile and you'll see a lot of my channelings. And yeah, thank you for joining us today. I really love doing this with you guys.
Perfect. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm gonna, for those who've missed the beginning, I will post a replay. I'm gonna add you in as a collaborator so they can just click and go directly through to you from the live. And from my side, guys, I still have tickets available for my Costa Rica retreat that's coming up in November. And then you can find me at Disclosure Fest just over a week, and also at the 7/7 event in San Diego. But everything is on the link in my bio. So again, thank you so much, Sarah. I look forward to seeing you in person soon. And yeah, take care. Beautiful rest of your day. Bye.
Speak soon, my loves. Bye.